Hi, hello, howdy. Making this video today, maybe a musician at home and trying to figure out how you want to do your recordings. I'm using an old version of Pro Tools, probably one of the first versions that came out for home use. And it's really a great program for doing your own stuff. I can't say enough about it, and like I said, this is an ancient version and I'm sure it's been superseded about 47 times, but it works great for my project. And man, if you're into home recording, whether you're doing original stuff or you're doing covers of things, you really should check out Pro Tools. There's so much that you can do beyond basic analog recording, and you still can do it originally and really good. So let's get into the basics of it. I've had a lot of folks ask me you know, exactly how one or two guys can make a complete song and sound like a complete band. And you can hear some of the stuff we've recorded at my channel, Crazy Neighbors, which is our duo band name, for lack of a better term. It's basically a project between myself and my buddy Jeff. I write most of the stuff. Jeff puts his input in on the guitar, and we collaborate on our music. But the channel name is Crazy Neighbors, CrazyNeighburz. I spelled neighbors like that on purpose, yes. But anyway, let's get into the basic of Pro Tools and recording, and hopefully I can answer a few questions about how we do it. As you can see, I've got one of my original songs pulled up here. That's what I was playing at the beginning, and you can hear that on the channel as well. Basically, this is a computer screen pull up of the song and each individual track. Left guitar, bass, drums, bass vocals, right guitar, all the way down. There's 9 tracks to this song. Each one is labeled. As you pull tracks up and make tracks, you have the option of naming them anything you want to. And I try to put labels on my tracks so I can go to it and know exactly what track is what, because you have to mix and engineer it. But usually what I start with is a rhythm guitar track. And I will plug in my keyboard and use the drum machine on it to keep everything tied together so everybody's on the same page as far as the tempo and whatnot. But a little bit about the basic equipment. I'm just using an old Dell PC. The only addition is a sound card, which I really don't use that anyway. But it's an old Dell PC. This is the interface designed to use with the Pro Tools program. This is what you plug your mics, your guitars, or whatever in to record with, and you can go up to 3 instruments simultaneously if you want to through this interface. The interface takes a signal from the amp, the guitar, the mic, whatever, runs it through the PC, and then that in turn uses the Pro Tools software to record with. I have studio monitors that I ordered from Amazon, nothing high dollar. Anybody can afford this setup. And basically just a decent mic on a boom stand. Some songs I use my keyboard on, but I've got several different varieties of guitar, bass, acoustic guitar, a nice Marshall amp, and then E-drums. I do my drum tracks live, and I use E-drums because they're so much easier to record than trying to individually mic acoustic drums and get it to sound right. I really enjoy using the E-drums, and you know, you're still playing it live, so it's still a live track to record with. But having said all of that, we'll get into the actual tracks. Usually what I do, like I said, I'll start a drum machine track with my keyboard, and I'll play the whole rhythm guitar track. Usually I label it left guitar because I split my guitars left and right. And I'll play the whole rhythm guitar track all the way from start to finish. I usually have my lyric sheet laid out here somewhere around the keyboard so I can follow my own song. And basically I just use my imagination to get from A to Z. If I mess the track up, then I start all over again. I don't overdub because what I record, I want it to be recorded in such a way that if I need to play it live, and I can with no problem. Overdubbing is simply taking one little snippet of a track, deleting it, and re-recording it. Like right here, if I want to take my mouse, say if I mess up the first line of my vocals, I can highlight that with my mouse like this and just take it out and re-record the first 2 seconds of that track. I don't like doing that. What I like to do is go over the song and the tracks enough that I'll record it live from start to finish. And that way I'm not cheating, and I teach myself my own song by playing it over and over and over where I can play it live. The stuff you hear on the radio, you've got a whole covey of engineers and musicians that are going in there, and they'll lay the basic song down, then they'll sit there and pick apart each track and re-record it to where it's perfect, you know. And to me, music is supposed to be live and loose, and you should be able to play it without having to do all that. That's just my personal belief in it. People can do whatever they want, but to me it's impressive to hear someone play their own stuff live and be able to go through it loosely and smoothly, and that's a mark of a craftsman to me. But other than that, you can choose to record however you want to. The track numbers for each song using Pro Tools is unlimited. This song, like I said, has 9 tracks on it. If I wanted to put 42 tracks on one song and just keep recording, I could. I like to keep mine basically, you know, simple. I'll pull up the mix window here, which opens this screen up. Now this is all of your individual tracks. When you lay a track down and name it over here, it automatically carries over to your mix window. So this is all your main volumes and any effects you have. Like the left guitar volume, and there's your bass volume and your drum volume, on and on and on. Now, the lead vocals, I'm using an effect up here. You can see it. It's called a slap delay, which actually gives you 2 different channels on the vocals to where you can tailor the delay and make the vocal track sound much fatter. I really enjoy that, and I'll usually use some kind of EQ and a compressor on just about everything because it takes a lot of the noise out of the tracks and makes them sound a lot smoother. But here's something I really like to do as far as mixing. I'll start the track. You'll see the black line moving. See it? Here comes the drums, and then everything. But when I'm engineering, if I just want to hear, say, the bass and the drums, I can solo those tracks. Here's the bass by itself. It's just the bass. Now, if I wanted to add the drums, I solo it. Now I can mix and match the volume and tailor these effects for the best sound I can get. My drums aren't hardly loud enough, I can bring them up and I can take them out. But I can set them to a point to where they're not hardly peaking. And then I can bring everything back in by deselecting the solo buttons. If I want to isolate the left guitar, let's say maybe just the two guitars. If I can find the other one, there we go, right guitar. See, it's just two guitars and that's it. And then I'll go over here and deselect both of them, and that puts everything back in. So that mix window is very, very handy for doing your final mix, your final engineering, setting your volumes. And of course you can move this around anywhere you want to on the screen just by using your mouse. So that's handy. And what you do is you start with one track and you just keep adding tracks and adding tracks until you get a complete song, just the way I've done here. It's not terribly complicated. It takes a minute to learn how to use the software and stuff, because I mean there are things available on this built into the, like I said, this is an ancient version of Pro Tools, and there's still all sorts of stuff built in to where you can edit these tracks if you want to. If you're into any kind of recording music, I would highly recommend Pro Tools of some flavor, whether it's ancient like this, just a basic setup with an interface and some studio monitors on a PC. You can make some really decent recordings with it. But that's how we do it, a track at a time. We add one and add one and add one and add one until we get everything we want on a song. And then I'll sit and go through the mix window and I'll tailor the individual volumes and do a little EQing and whatnot until we get a recording that sounds as good as I can get it anyway. So basically, that's how we do it. So if you're into recording, check out a Pro Tools program of some sort. I think you'll be highly impressed with it, and I would highly recommend it. I've used a lot of different recording venues, from analog to 8-tracks cassettes, and nothing that I've found will compare to Pro Tools as far as quality recording and the things that are built in to help you sound better. Anyway, thanks for watching my video. Check out my Crazy Neighbors channel if you get a chance. If you're into rock, original stuff, it's nothing, outrageous as far as not too hard, it's not too soft. It's just middle of the road rock and roll. If you like it, leave a like. I appreciate it. Thank you.